was like, whoa.
Welcome back to It Is What It Is. This episode is sponsored by Underdog. The app is an easy way to make some cash just by making picks on your favorite players. Underdog is available in more than 30 states, including California, Texas, and Missouri, just to name a few. So Underdog is dropping awesome promos all week long, so check the calendar on the screen to see what's coming next. They also have a Saquon Barkley Gimme Pick available to new and existing customers until kickoff. And Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5 and get $50 in bonus funds when you sign up with code It Is What It Is. I'm Treasure Wilson, aka Stat Baby, along with your hosts, Mace and Cam.
Killer, what's good, man?
What's good, man? How you doing today? You all right?
Yeah, man.
What's going on?
A lot, man. A lot going on, man. You don't listen. You don't listen.
What I don't listen to?
I say he doesn't listen. You gotta learn everything the hard way, man. I told this nigga this like 30 years ago, man. The roosters come home. The roosters come home.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yo, man, I just, you know what I realize, Murder, when I say stuff, I got, because I say shit and just move on and I realize my words hurt, man. But you did tell me about this shit 30 years ago. Man. I totally agree with you. But what I'll say is this, because I know people are probably like, what are you talking about? But Dame, I seen your message, and I got it yesterday, and I won't say anything today about it, about anything. But see, but I only have one thing to say today. I'll save it for Talk with Flea, because I can't implicate Murder. But Murder did tell me 30 years ago. I ain't going to say what he told me.
So y'all, today, we are joined with our analyst, Arabia.
Arabia! Oh my goodness!
Hello.
What is
How
that
are you?
called?
Thanks for having me.
What is that call you did with your hair?
Oh, it's like an ombre layered middle part situation.
Period.
Oh yeah, Cam don't know what the ombre is. You know what the ombre is, Cam?
Yes, Mace. I didn't have to ask her. She just told you what it was. Why would I repeat?
But what is the ombre?
You tell me. Do you know what wispies are? Do you know what the wispies are? You don't know wispies.
Yeah, you're spinning it. I'm asking you about the ombre. Do you know what the ombre
I'm asking you to tell me what it is. Murder, I pay attention to females. I know about ombre. I know about wispies, the mink eyelash. I'm into all that.
Just tell me what the ombre is. That's all I'm asking.
I don't believe you know. I don't believe you know.
This sir makes a lot.
I'm just saying. What's up, Arabia?
What's up, Arabia?
Hi.
How you doing?
Hello. How are you? I'm great. Thank you. Happy to be here. How are you?
Good, man. We missed you, man.
For sure.
Yeah.
Miss being here.
And the ombre is popping.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Ombre more than umbre, but I appreciate it. Thank you.
Ombre.
You know she speaks Spanish.
For real,
yeah.
for real.
Yeah, so
For real.
yeah, that's why she's correcting you. Because you're not. That's why I was thrown off. You wasn't pronouncing. You wasn't pronouncing. You wasn't pronouncing. Your pronunciation was off. Man.
Come on,
You brought it up. Well, hey. Anyways, agreed. Arabia, you look beautiful. Glad to have you back. You were definitely missed. Now we got to get into the football.
Yes.
So this is our way too early Super Bowl predictions. The Eagles want some love, y'all. Do you guys think that they will win the Super Bowl again? I know it's early, but how are we feeling? What are we thinking? Arabia.
Yeah, so for my Super Bowl picks, I have the Nigga Bowl that everybody wanted a few years ago. So out of the NFC, I have the Eagles going to the NFC Conference Championship game. They did lose some pieces with Milton Williams, CJ Gardner-Johnson, Josh Sweat, Brandon Graham, but their defense should still be very solid, especially with those exciting whites back there with Reed Blankenship and Cooper DeJean. On offense, they're led by Jalen Hurts, Saquon, AJ, but honestly, this is Jalen Hurts' 12th offensive coordinator in 9 seasons dating back to college, but he seems to be able to adjust very well. They're going to be good, but I think they will fall to the Lions. Again, really, really early to say this, but the last time we saw the Lions, they were getting their backs blown out by the Commanders in the divisional round of the playoff games, 45-31. But don't get it twisted. The Lions are very dominant when fully healthy. So I have the Lions coming out of the NFC. Again, way too early. Out of the AFC, I have the Bills in the conference championship game. They're projected to be the highest scoring offense in the NFL, even though they haven't led the NFL in scoring since 1990, but they're projected to do that this year. Defense should also be solid, but I think they will lose to the Ravens. I have the Ravens coming out of the AFC. And it's a really big if Lamar Jackson, Todd Monken, offensive coordinator, and John Harbaugh stick to their identity, they tend to lose their minds in the playoffs. If they stick to what they know and what they're good at in the playoffs, they have a really good chance this year of making it to the good game. So I have the Lions, Ravens, in the Super Bowl.
Hey,
That's
Mace, what do
crazy.
you think? Do you agree or no?
Lions
You heard
and
blacks going on. You said,
Ravens.
what is going on?
That's horrible news, Arabia.
Excuse me.
The Lions. Shout out to Detroit. Shout out to everybody in Detroit. I'm gonna let you rock. Shout out to Detroit. But you know who's gonna be in the championship. The same team who's been there for the last couple of years. I think this is the year Patrick Mahomes is really upset with what happened and transpired last year. And he's coming back with a vengeance. I'm just letting you know this will be the best season that we see from black quarterbacks. I think all the top quarterbacks will be black. This going to be the year that happened. I'm putting that out there just so y'all know it's not steroids or anything like that. It's just going to be a nigga Super Bowl, you know? But not the type of nigga she's talking about. So I got...
What's the type of... What do you mean?
I mean, you're going to
not
have...
the type of nigga she talking about.
I mean, the top quarterback is going to be black this year.
Okay.
All right? So I'm just letting you know that early. But I got... of course, I got KC. I got Kansas City. And... I'm going to go with your team. I don't see why you didn't pick this. I'm going to go with the Commanders.
That's lovely.
Mace, I don't know what you just said. I have no idea what Mace just said. He's went in a whole circle, said a nigga bowl like Arabia said it. Then he went back to not that type of nigga.
That's the only question.
Where's the DJ at? Like, this nigga's DJ, he's just spinning.
Those all black quarterbacks.
I understand what you're saying, but you didn't say nothing really that she didn't say. You just kind of just piggybacked off what she said.
No, she didn't pick the Commanders when it was all said and done. Mm-hmm. And she didn't pick Kansas City.
No, you picked two different teams, but leading up to your picks, it was shaky, it was turbulence. You landed the plane. But it was
it's
mad.
Early in the season.
It was mad turbulence.
I'm getting my feet wet.
Listen, yeah, I ain't mad at that. Listen, this is a good question because to me, it's very hard to repeat. That's first and foremost. If we're going to say and go off paper, we're going to say and say Philadelphia should repeat. Arabia brought up a lot of great points, and I'm glad that you were being realistic and then picked the Commanders because I thought that's where you were going when we originally started your take. And I'm like, look at her. About to go right.
So emotional.
Yeah, exactly. I said, look at her. About to go this. But I'm really, really proud that you picked the teams that you picked. I'm not mad at the teams you picked, but the two teams that you did pick, those are, to me, those are two, and don't get me wrong, the Lions the last 2 years have been making noise. They started 3 years ago when they almost made the playoffs, and then they started becoming favorites. But to me, those are the two biggest teams that let down outside of the Buffalo Bills. The Lions and the Ravens. They get to the show, they get to the dance, and then what they do, they let you down every year. So I'm not going with those two teams. That's who I'm not going with. Are those good picks? Absolutely, those are good picks. But the NFC is up in the air. I don't really like anybody in the NFC outside of Philadelphia, and actually the Commanders. I don't know what San Francisco is going to do this year. I think Tampa Bay may be all right. I like the way Tampa Bay played last year as well. We had Mike on the show. We told him what it is for the last 800 years when it comes to the Cowboys. But as far as the NFC, I mean, if I have to pick somebody right now, I'm going to go with Philadelphia, but I'm not feeling strong about that pick. But unlike Arabia, I'm going to actually pick my team, the Bengals. We're going to the Super Bowl.
Oh,
we got Jamar Chase signed back, T. Higgins. You know, we start a season off happy. Every season we start off happy. I don't care, Murder. I don't care. I don't care what
I'm saying Stat might as well say the Steelers gonna be in it.
Again, you got to be realistic.
Yeah. Listen, man, we got to act. Niggas is acting like Joe Burrow ain't go to Super Bowl like 3 years ago. Then he got hurt, and then we have unhappy campers when your wide receivers aren't signed. Like last year, even though Jamar Chase started the season off, it was contract disputes. But the year before, and the end of last season, the end of the season before last, and then leading into last season, so he played, and he was pissed off, and he didn't come to mini camp, training camp, and then played the first 2 games. He did good, but he was pissed. And then what happens? He still wins the Triple Crown. Joe Burrow still gets the most yardage as last year as the quarterback. It's the defense we got to worry about. It's nothing about the offense that we have to worry about at all. Now, we re-signed Hendrickson, which is good for a 1-year deal, but we're going to be a high-powered offense is what our defense is going to do. But I think that the offense will be so great that even if the defense lets up 22, 23, 24 points a game, that we're going to put up 30 points a game. And that's who's going to be in the Super Bowl. So I'll pick Philly for now. I'm not happy about Philly, but it'll be the Bengals and Philly unless I see something different in the NFC.
And then real quick, Arabia, how do you feel about the Bengals? I got to get your take on Cam's take.
Yeah, I mean, so Cam, you just said, which is a really good point, it's not the offense that's the problem, it's the defense that's the problem. And if the defense lets the other team score 20, 30 points, that the offense will make up for it. But that's exactly what happened last year. The Bengals were losing games, even though they scored 30, sometimes 40 points. So I think unless the defense itself gets better, the offense sometimes just can't make up for it. So I don't see it happening unless there are significant strides on defense.
No, you're absolutely right. But if you think this is going to happen 2 years in a row and somebody ain't going to get slapped the shit out of them in the locker room, it's going to be a problem this year. You think Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and Joe Burrow got this contract? Somebody on defense is going to pay. And we're not going to know about it. It's going to be behind closed doors, going to be foot to ass, and somebody's going to pay. You're not going to keep having me score 35 points and the other team scores 37, 38. So I'm not saying that you're incorrect, but I don't see this pattern repeating from last year into this year. That's all I'm saying.
And then real quick, Mace, before we start discussing the team that you love talking about, since you brought up the Chiefs, we did see Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift got engaged. Did that move you? How did you feel about that news? Just got to get your input.
I mean, that's good for them. I don't think it really changes anything for us. We really got to move forward. I don't even talk about Taylor Swift right now. I think it'll put too much focus there.
I think the focus is going to be there regardless, but I hear you, GM. That was a very GM answer. You said it doesn't move us. Got it.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens with the Chiefs and Taylor Swift, but shout out to them for their
shout out to the Swifties and all. Is Kelce a Swiftie?
Yes. He has to be the ultimate Swiftie now. That's his wife.
That's wild.
I love that for them. I love it. I think that's great.
Niggas is Swifties. I thought the Swifties was, because like with Beyonce, I didn't know if it's niggas in the Beehive.
Beehive, yeah.
It's niggas in there?
Yes.
I wish I would say I'm part of somebody's Swiftie or Beehive as a grown ass.
That's what it is.
I thought it was all females.
No.
So let me ask you this. Could a nigga be a Barb that Nicki Minaj crew with?
Yes. I've met male Barbs and I've met male Swifties.
Where you met male Barbs at?
Miami.
Oh, yeah.
Just, not like where at? So I don't go there.
In concerts.
Nigga be like, yo, I'm a Barb.
Well, you can tell, like, if they, like, you know, it's like, okay,
if
you're a
nigga
Barb.
say clock it, that
doesn't make them a Barb.
I'm just saying, those are mannerisms of male Barbs. Let me ask you this, Arabia. Would you be mad if your boyfriend's a Barb?
Yeah, that's
Absolutely. I would never date a man who would ever call himself a barb or anything like that. It's a wrap for him.
Thank you. That's all I'm checking.
You
but Stat, you know what?
Stat dated white guys.
No,
Would you date a Swiftie?
Oh my gosh.
No, I'm saying they don't got to be white or black, but Stat likes eclectic niggas. Like, let me ask you this question, because sometimes I just feel that makes me feel like, oh, you don't know what's going on. Can your boyfriend have colorful nail polish, Arabia?
Absolutely not. The most my boyfriend can do is go get a manicure, maybe some clear over it, but that's as far as it's gonna go.
She's from out
Manicure is important.
There she go.
I just don't.
Yeah, because Stat.
What if it's bubblegum pink?
No, just clear. That's it.
Thank you. I just check because Stat be trying to make it seem like y'all wilding, y'all out the loop. It's cool. I don't care if he has nail polish on. It doesn't matter to me. And I understand it. I get it. But that's why I wanted to check in to see if I'm just that much out the loop.
It's not out the loop.
You know
I
what I
don't
think,
black is a problem.
I think it's just preference. Because, like, for me, and I know we're off topic, but I think monogamy ruins really great relationships. Yeah. So I think you have to just do what's best for you and your relationship.
I like your take on that. I seen you on your Instagram talking about that, man. That I like your perspective on life, man, because she feels that a man shouldn't have to only have one female, and I applaud that. She gets it. I respect that. Listen, I respect it because she understands we're hunters by nature, and we're hunters by nature, and at the end of the day, if you're honest with your significant other, your wife, whatever your partner, and you're honest, that's what it's really about. All jokes aside, it's like, bro, nobody want to get caught cheating and lying and all that shit. Like, yo, you know this nigga, and not you, man. I'm just saying people in general. Stop lying. Like, yo, it's just like, that shit is annoying, man. You coming out the hotel, your phone ring, you scared because it's your girl. Like, yo, why is it ringing now? This bitch see me coming out the hotel. You tired of being scared all the time. You know what I'm saying? So I did see your take on that. Maybe I'll bring you on Talk with Flea and we'll have a discussion about that because that's a great topic.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about it. I'm with it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just say really quick before we move on. Y'all should definitely be on the same page, but if you're going to be worried about cheating and stuff, then just be single. That's just what I feel like that is. Just be single and do what you want to do.
The thing about it is it's a couple things. It's like, you may want to be in a relationship, but that don't mean that we've been talking about this 3 seasons that you don't want a little dip off, but I want to come home. I just don't want to have sex with you every time. This is, you have to realize when marriage and you don't want to cheat on anything, this means you don't want to have sex with anybody for the rest of your life, ever. Think about that. No more choices, no more variety. It's just me and you in this bedroom forever.
He wants different meals. I think if you love a meal, go get that meal. That's what I think.
But Arabia understands that Arabia considers herself the filet mignon, but I understand that he want a New York steak tonight. He want turkey wings once in a while. You know what I'm saying?
Look at that guy.
I hear y'all. That works for some. I love that it works for y'all. Me personally, I'm gonna just eat the filet mignon. I ain't finna go get no wings and no extra side and no mashed potato. I don't need it. I'm good.
No,
but I get it.
No, and that's why everybody was the same person, life be boring.
That is true. That is very true. I mean, he's right.
Yeah,
Dr. Giles is crazy. Yeah.
No, I'm saying that's what makes the world go around is that everybody has different perspectives on stuff. Imagine everybody. That's why I get mad at Sin all the time. He wants me to think like him. I'm like, what if I thought everybody thought the same way? The world would be a boring place. So it's good to have different perspectives on scenarios, and then I understand where you're coming from. I'm not gonna lie to myself anymore, or to my partner.
That's fair.
And believe it or not, girls be liking girls just as much as niggas be liking girls. To be honest with you, A lot of these girls be off. Girls think this a girls trip. Yeah, all right. It's a lit cat trip. It's the truth. Yeah.
Neo's having a great time.
Neo looks happy.
And I love that for him. Everybody's different.
Yeah.
That's what I'll say.
But I'm saying too, girls be acting like they going on girl trips, and they really be out there for each other. That's a fact.
We all live different lives.
Have a girl ever flirted with you or tried to come on to you?
Yes.
Exactly. That's what I'm telling you.
Wow.
You said what?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you. It's like, it's cool now. You don't have to, a lot of stuff that when I was growing up, and you probably grew up in it, you had to hide, and you had to keep it a secret. And now it's more open to where you can walk down the casino holding hands with a girl in each other, or even you see men holding hands or whatever. I'm just saying, a lot of stuff you have to keep secret. So a lot of shit is out in the open. Like when I see somebody 50 years old or 55 years old twerking on Instagram, I'm like, you wish you could have did this in 92, don't you? You trying to catch up for lost time because it's cool now. It wasn't cool to do it in 92. You had to go off your face card, and that mattered.
Wow. Well, I love that everybody's living in their truth. Shout out to the Swifties. Shout out to the Barbs. Do y'all's thing.
Would you date a Barb? A nigga Barb?
No. But he can obviously Nicki Minaj music, but I
like Nicki Minaj music.
That's what I'm saying.
I love
but
music,
a barb is like extremity, like it's to a certain. I don't think I could date anybody who's obsessed with celebrity in general, but that's just my thing. But shout out to him. You like what you like. That's what we like. Okay, so
all this shit because Taylor Swift got engaged, murder.
we
Kansas
got here.
We was on a 30-minute conversation. Bob's, the Swifties,
You checked out.
fingernail polish. I've been checked out.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is not going to check you in because it's still kind of Cowboys-esque, but we're going to get to it. So,
right.
Micah Parsons has been dealing with an L4, L5 facet joint sprain in his back. His status for their Week 1 game versus the Lions is uncertain. Now, knowing this, Arabia, how do you feel about the way things went down for the trade with Micah Parsons, the Packers, the Cowboys? We spoke about it a little bit yesterday's episode, but want to get your thoughts on this.
Yeah, this doesn't change anything for me. This was a known injury. It's not like he was hiding it. He actually sat out in practice because of this when he was with Dallas. They had him on a 5-day prescription for cortisone, and they also had him in physical therapy. So they knew about this injury. And actually, if he does end up playing against the Lions, it'll just be 8 days after he was traded. So I think some people thought he was sitting out as a ploy because of his contract, but it's actually a serious injury. And to this point, we saw how close the NFC North was last year, particularly between the Vikings and the Lions. This win, Week 1, could come around and bite either one of these teams in the butt come playoff time, because for the Packers, their last 7 games, 6 of their last 7 games are division games. So you want to kind of get a one-up on your division mates early on so that later on in the season, if you have any injuries, your team is banged up, or if the other team is rolling into the playoffs, which really good teams tend to do, you want to make sure you try to collect as many wins in that division as much as possible. So this doesn't change anything about how I feel about the trade. I think good for him for getting out of there. It's a toxic environment. And some people closest to Jerry Jones don't want to hold him accountable, obviously, but he got out of a really toxic environment. So good for him.
Yeah, I really think when you're giving somebody $188 million, 136 of it is guaranteed, a $44 million bonus, he got to play. Is no way around it. If I'm the GM, he got to get on the field for that cash, especially if the money that he's getting for that type of team. Because you think about what was going on in Green Bay, the city needs him out there, and I know it would be premature if he get hurt or anything like that, but this is a city that need a good win, and he need to be out there.
So really quick, even with his injury, you think it's worth the risk? I'm
not sure how injured he is. I don't know a lot about that, but if it's a back injury, definitely you will want him out there. if he's not like really injured. So, sometimes people say they're injured and they're not. So I don't want to make light of it. If he's really injured, no, he don't need to play. But if it's just you just got the 188, go out there for the fans.
Hey, Tim.
The money's guaranteed.
First of all, Ray, what do you mean he left a toxic environment? Why was it a toxic environment? Because it was. What do you mean by that? What do you mean he left a toxic environment? Go ahead.
Yeah, I think I see what you be doing now, and I'm gonna feed into it. The Cowboys are the worst sports, and this is now not all 32. This is Arabia now. The Cowboys are the worst sports organization in history, led by this Tales of the Crypt, horrible owner who most people want to stay in the position he's in because he's the Cowboys' worst enemy. And like I said about the Bengals before, Jerry Jones and the Cowboys can game plan for Jaden Daniels and for the Giants defensive line and for the Eagles' dominant defensive offense. But Jerry Jones is the Cowboys' worst enemy. And good for Micah Parsons for getting his ass up out of there. So that's what I mean by it's toxic. Jerry Jones wants to be the superstar diva, doesn't want anybody to outshine him, and he wants to just make all these decisions and be weird. And not everybody wants to be a Cowboy under those circumstances. So I'm about to go on a rant, but yeah, the Cowboys are trash. They're horrible, and because they're led by Jerry Jones.
Arabia, I'll say this. Damn, they're sending me a nice little. Yo, I'll say this. How many Super Bowls does the Redskins have? I'm a former Redskins fan. Now listen, real quick. And I know they're Commanders now. I'm saying the Redskins because we know the Commanders don't have any Super Bowls. I'm from Joe Theismann, John Riggins, Art Monk. When I was 8 or 9 years old, I had the Redskin phone like this helmet right here. Like I used to pick the phone up and like I was really a Redskin fan. Joe Gibbs, quarterback, all that shit. How many championships does the Redskins have, Arabia?
They have 3 Super Bowls.
When's the last time they won a Super Bowl? Just asking.
1991.
Right. So Jerry has more recent Super Bowls than the Redskins. That's what you're saying.
Well, when was the last Cowboy Super Bowl?
96. That's what I'm trying to say. They're more recent than the Redskins. So that's why.
Okay. Yeah. So 91 was over 30 years ago. And 5 years from 91 is a drop in the bucket compared to 3 decades since both teams basically won a Super Bowl.
Spend it how you want. They won a Super Bowl more recently than you guys won a Super Bowl. Secondly,
I don't care.
Secondly, he bought the team for $180 million, Arabia. The team is worth $13 billion. How is it the worst organization in the football franchise and in football history? If you bought it for $180 million and then it's worth $13 billion, they won a Super Bowl more recently than the Commanders / Redskins, whichever you prefer calling them. I know that they're the Commanders. Some people are sensitive all of a sudden over the Redskins, which I don't want to be insensitive. I'm just calling them Redskins because that's who won the title. How are they not a better organization than the Commanders?
Because I don't confuse quantity with quality. Although the quantity of the value of the Cowboys have increased since Jerry Jones have bought them, the quality of the product on the field, especially over the last couple decades, has decreased. And Cowboy fans have actually been fed up with it. So I say that to say, yes, the organization is worth a lot of money, but that does not mean that fans or even players enjoy the environment that they're in. And I know in the 90s when they were winning Super Bowls, a lot of close relationships were made and genuine connections to Jerry Jones, and those guys are still loyal to him. But today in Big 25, he's not making decisions that are conducive to the Cowboys' quality of product on the field to be optimal, which is why we've seen players trying to leave and complaining. Micah Parsons, arguably the best team player on that team, wants to leave. And he doesn't care anything about how much the Cowboys are worth. He cares about the environment he's in. So I don't see those two things being connected to each other with how great of a franchise they are as far as quality is concerned.
Yeah. The thing about it is Michael Parsons, when I seen the statement, he said he didn't want to leave. They just didn't offer him the right money, and that him and Jerry were, his agent wasn't involved in the negotiations, and he felt slighted. But the thing about it is, you're saying quality like y'all have so much quality. Y'all ain't that quality, all this shit. Y'all niggas, you know what y'all did? Y'all hired Magic Johnson and Bob Myers and turned shit around. And that's what happened. Y'all ain't the creme de la creme. Yeah, stop acting like, ooh, Tiffany's blue. Y'all niggas ain't that. Y'all niggas hired some good niggas 2 years ago. It's looking like y'all spun the team around, and now quality over quality. No, y'all niggas is popped the last 38 years too, man. Y'all been popped. Now y'all got Magic and Bob Myers who know how to win, these was fantastic hires. Fantastic hires. Super good. What was Snyder doing up there in them offices? What he's doing with them women? Yeah, no. Yeah, you want to talk about owners? You want to talk? You want to get on Jerry? What was your owner doing for the last 30, 20-something years? Up there fondling females, up there groping females and more. It was a big scandal up there in the office, in the front office. They had to rename it to the Commanders because they want nothing to do with what Snyder was doing. What about your team for the last 25 years? What has your owner done? Let's talk about them scandals.
My owner is not Dan Snyder. He is gone out of the building like Jerry Jones
left,
should be.
man.
So I actually have,
this is what I'm talking about, murder.
Niggas now, those are not my owners.
Murder. Niggas wear dirty sneakers for 20 years and get a fresh pair of kicks. And niggas talking about, I don't know about them shit.
Whose shoes are those?
Yeah, whose shoes is those? Go ahead, Dan Snyder's not your owner. Continue.
Dan Snyder's not my owner, so my owners are actually turning around an entire franchise from the top down, which the Cowboys and Jerry Jones should do. Number two, I don't know what this juxtaposition between the Cowboys and the Commanders are. Like, why y'all, and it sounds like you're putting your cape on for the Cowboys. I'm not sure why, because I thought the Bengals were your team, but it sounds like Cowboys fans and Cowboys purists always try to compare themselves to the Commanders. So when there's any type of criticism, it's like, oh, but what are you doing? When the fact is, it's plain as day to anybody who can see the situation that it can be a very toxic environment when you have your owner coming out bashing players and trying to do all these under the table deals without agents. And any excuse is even adding to that toxic environment instead of holding the owner accountable so change can actually be made. Don't nobody want to be a daggone Cowboy under Jerry Jones in these circumstances.
I'm not a Cowboys fan. I'm a Jerry Jones fan because I watched the documentary and now I'm a Jerry Jones fan. So
yeah, that's happening a lot, actually. A lot of people said that you should watch the documentary to see the kind of guy that he is and see why people are so loyal to him. And that I can actually understand. And I'll compare it to a UFL player who played for the Cowboys and ended up going to the UFL. He got in some trouble when he was a Cowboy. Jerry got him out. But as a UFL player, he also got into some really big trouble. He didn't have Jerry Jones and that backing behind him. I think Jerry actually really does care for his players. I think he cares a lot about Dallas and the organization. I just think sometimes it might be well intended, but what he's actually doing doesn't translate to being conducive to a successful organization as far as quality. He's a moneymaker, he's a businessman, but it's not always the best look as far as optics in the public eye. So I can see why watching that documentary, you would then be defensive for Jerry Jones.
No, I'm not defensive. I'm just creating, my team's the band. I'm just creating conversation. The only reason I'm not being defensive for the Cowboys whatsoever, I'm just trying to wonder why you down on somebody and you had a pervert running your organization for 25 years and now you telling them about y'all the creme de la creme and all this other shit. You had a mouse in the house who's running the team. And now y'all got new ownership. Now y'all got new ownership.
A mouse in the house.
Yeah, he's out now. So I can talk that because he's gone. That's not my owner anymore.
Okay.
So
I ain't mad at you. Yeah, talk that shit.
Yeah, she said.
Mama got a brand new bag.
Okay, so on the topic of Jerry Jones, because some quotes kind of came out when he was talking to the media. So I'll make it clear he did praise Micah Parsons. He loved him as a player, but he did say, I don't regret anything at all. I'm very excited about the prospects of what we've done for the Cowboys here. I wouldn't have done it. I had total control over being able to have it the other way. So I'm excited. We got what we wanted. So just on Jerry's behalf, even though we don't exactly know what's going on in his mind, Arabia, why do you think Jerry Jones is so excited about this?
I think it's twofold. I think one of it might be PR and just making sure that there's a positive spin to this story, because a lot of people do have negative things to say about Jerry Jones, including me, and about the Cowboys, including me. So he wants to make sure that as far as PR, it's a positive spin to this situation. But I also do think that he gets a 2026 first round pick. He gets a 2027 first round pick, and he gets a defensive tackle. So I think there is a lot of good that came out of the situation as far as building for the future, getting things next year. But at the same time, the Packers aren't a bad team. So I don't know how high those 2026 and 2027 picks are, but nonetheless, they are still first round picks. So he's right. There is some good that came out of the situation. So I think two things can be true. It's kind of PR, positive spin, but also at the same time, there was a lot of good that came out of it, even though they lost their best player.
What's the good PR spin? Because I'm not hearing it.
So basically, like, there's been a lot of negative things coming from Micah in his camp, right? So they're saying that Jerry Jones didn't meet with his agent and wasn't calling and wasn't answering the phone, and that there were just a lot of shady things happening behind the scenes where he invited him to come speak about leadership, but ended up wanting to talk about a contract, just things like that. So all that negative PR that was coming from Micah's perspective, now the positive spin is like, instead of actually recognizing that there has been some kind of conflict between both parties, they ended up coming to an agreement, blah, blah. So the positive spin is basically him being like, oh yeah, this was great, and this is exactly what we wanted. But if this is exactly what they wanted, I think they would have come to this agreement a lot sooner.
Yeah, I definitely don't believe he offered him the money that he was getting in Green Bay. So it probably was just best for him to move on.
And you're saying, what's the exact question, Stat?
Yeah, basically, why do you think Jerry Jones is so excited about this? Because he was telling the media, like, they got what they wanted. They're good.
I don't think that he's excited. I think that this is what he has to say to make it look good, and that's another thing. And I know, no, Arabia wasn't on yesterday, and Mike was on yesterday. And I know we're talking about the Cowboys the last 3 weeks and leading up to this Thursday night game as well. But like I said, watching this documentary, you get the feel of his personality. And one thing about Jerry Jones, it seems like he doesn't want to look like he's stupid or wrong or anything like that. And so many people are mad that Cowboy fans that Micah Parsons did leave, so that he's trying to smooth it over and be like, well, look, we got this, and we got a player now, and like Arabia just said, you get the draft picks. But nigga, first of all, Green Bay's not going to be at the bottom of the list, so you're not going to get an early draft pick. Not saying you can't get a good draft pick late in the first round, but it ain't going to be like top 10 draft pick. That's first and foremost. Secondly, Jerry's spinning it. It's just a way to comfort people. They going back to when he traded Herschel Walker and all that shit 30, 40 years, however fucking long ago. And like, look how that trade turned out. No, it's not the same thing. Herschel Walker was a whole different position than Micah Parsons. But it's just spinning. It's just to make the fans calm down, make it seem like it's comfortable. But none of them Dallas fans want to hear that shit. They don't.
Okay. Now let's get into our underdog picks before we go to break. So this Thursday, the Cowboys will play the Eagles. Underdog has Saquon Barkley at 96.5 rushing yards. Do you have him higher or lower, Mace?
Higher.
Okay.
Ain't no Micah there. Yeah. It's fucking high.
Might go for 200.
Yeah.
Okay. Dak Prescott's at 246.5 passing yards. Do you have him higher or lower, Cam?
It's a good one, too. I'm going to go higher. Got your weapons, nigga.
To what?
246.5 passing yards.
Lower.
Okay. Now, George Pickens, I hate this. 55.5 receiving yards. Do you have him higher or lower, Cam?
You tell me, Statty, he a Steeler playing for the Cowboys now.
He's happy where he's at, so.
He gonna get that because niggas gonna be, after a while, they just gonna focus on CeeDee Lamb. That's a good pickup for them, to be totally honest with you. I don't look at him as a high top 5 receiver, but he's definitely a good second option. He should have higher than that.
Okay.
Yeah, higher. Dak got to do his job now. He got weapons.
Okay. Make sure you guys download the Underdog app and you can make your picks too. We are going to go to break. When we return, we will discuss the top quarterbacks in the league. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. So the NFL had a top 100 players of 2025 list. So it starts, with obviously 100 players, but we're going to discuss the quarterbacks. So their top 5 quarterbacks on their list was 1, Lamar Jackson, then Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, then Jalen Hurts. Arabia, do you agree with this list? Who would be your top 5 quarterbacks going into the season?
Yeah, I agree with this list. I don't have a problem with it. I think there are certain things that a lot of quarterbacks do well and don't do well. I think pretty much for the most part, everybody has the same top 4, but just arranged differently. So most people have Lamar, Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, and Josh Allen in different ways. That 5th one is where people start to disagree. So I don't have a problem with this list at all. A lot of people discredit Jalen Hurts for having so many weapons around him and for having a really great defense, and say that because he doesn't have to overperform for his team and that his defense can carry his team sometimes, that he's not top 5 quarterback and that he doesn't go through all his progressions all the time and that he runs too much, that they count that against him. And I understand, but I don't really have a problem with this list.
Yeah, I really do. This list is kind of irritating because I got Patrick Mahomes number 1. I got Lamar at number 2, and I got a 3-way tie between Joe Burrow's, what's his name from Buffalo? Josh Allen, and we talking about Jalen Hurts. I got Jalen Hurts at number 3, tied with all of them because he's the one that got it done. He's the one that got the championship. So I don't think it's even possible to keep bumping him down when he's the one that made it happen. I don't care what you say is around him. There's weapons around Joe Burrows. There's weapons around Josh Allen, clearly. And he panicked in the last second of the game. So I gotta go with the winner.
Josh Allen panicked?
Yeah, you remember the playoffs?
That nigga threw that shit in that nigga hand. That nigga dropped the pass. That shit
was before that. It was the play before that when he ran and got caught.
I know
he could have won Superman.
The last play of the game for his season last year, he threw a dime to that nigga, and that nigga dropped the fucking ball, bro. Let the city down. But back to the list. You finished?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going Patrick Mahomes as first. I don't really like agreeing with Mason.
Yeah, thank you, Cam.
Yeah, but, I don't know if you really know Titletown and Patrick Mahomes. That's an investigation going on that I've been working on for the last year and a half. I didn't want to say anything. But at the end of the day, look, I do have a problem with the list. As much as I think that Lamar Jackson is the most gifted, probably, and athletic, and not only that, of course, with his legs paused, but the fact his accuracy throwing 2 league MVPs. When it comes to the playoffs, it matters. It matters to me, and I have to. And as much as Mason's talking about trying to diss my nigga Josh Allen, I fuck with Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen, to me personally, right now, and even though he uses his legs, but right now in the NFL, to me, he's the purest quarterback. I'm talking about in the pocket, even though he runs, he's not Lamar Jackson running anything like that. He's a big nigga pause that runs nigga over, but his cannon accuracy, I think he's the best quarterback, pure quarterback. But if I'm making a list, Patrick Mahomes goes at the top of my list. Secondly, Joe Burrow goes second in my list. Because as much as we say Joe Burrow doesn't get the job done, he has a fucked up offensive line, defense sucks, so on and so forth, whatever. He got to the Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson has not got to the Super Bowl. Josh Allen has not got to the Super Bowl. They haven't got there. And even though Jalen Hurts has won a Super Bowl, you don't win that Super Bowl without everybody else. And I think Jalen Hurts is probably, and I don't want to put him as a game manager, but because I think he's better than that. But that's really what he's doing. You got fucking weapons on both sides of the field. You got arguably the best running back in the game, and your defensive line was just fucking stellar. What the fucking nigga's average height was, 6'8" last year or whatever the fuck it was? Had a great team around him, but you do have to do your job as a quarterback. So I'm not going to put him above Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen. I'm going to put him number 5. And I know I'm sounding like a homer because I'm giving Cincinnati all the love, but it's the facts. He got to the big dance. with all these problems that everybody talk about with Cincinnati. Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, until you get past Patrick Mahomes, you won't be at the top of my list.
And Arabia, I do want to clarify really quick because we see that Mason Cam here do have Patrick Mahomes as their number one. So you are keeping Lamar Jackson at your number one, or like, do you feel somebody else is kind of there? I just want to make sure.
That's a DMV thing.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson is definitely at my number one. And I think it's because even when you look at the quarterback position over the last few decades, it's changing in terms of what pure means. So if you're a NFL purist, that means that you have good pocket presence, you climb the pocket, and you kill a defense with your arm. But now we see an emergence of mobile quarterbacks, not just mobile quarterbacks. Like Randall Cunningham was a mobile quarterback back in the day, so there already have been them, but there's so many different types now. Lamar Jackson is really innovative in terms of that, and I think he creates 11 men on the offense. And what that means is sometimes the quarterback takes themselves out of the play, so there are 10 men on offense because you have to worry about the other 10 men on the field. But with Lamar Jackson, you have to worry about 11 men on that offense, and he can be a nightmare for defensive coordinators. Not to say that Patrick Mahomes can't, because Patrick Mahomes also is a different type of mobile quarterback. But to me, it'll be Lamar Jackson.
Who beat the Ravens last year? I might ask. In the playoffs.
What do you mean?
Who beat the Ravens?
That's Buffalo, nigga. Can't beat
it
the
might
white
have been
man.
The Bills. Yeah.
Yeah. So how you got them like higher than all of them? I mean, how are you putting him above Patrick Mahomes when he couldn't get past
Josh Allen?
Josh Allen.
My thing is
because I don't always think that wins and losses are quarterback stats. There are times where I've seen Lamar Jackson be directly part of the reason why they lose, especially in the playoffs. Like we see, he did not protect the ball the way that he needed to last year in the playoffs. He fumbled the ball. We also saw that he had some pretty poor decision making, but I could say the exact same thing sometimes about Josh Allen, or I can say the same thing about, other people. But I think Josh Allen plays significantly better than Lamar Jackson does in the playoffs. And in that regard, playoffs do matter, but I still have Lamar Jackson at my number one.
And you know who you can't say that about? Do you know?
I have an idea of what you're going to say, yes.
This is what I'm trying to say. That's why I don't know how this makes sense. But Cam, go ahead, Cam.
My thing is, listen, don't take this the wrong way. I'm not talking about Arabia. I'm just talking about people. Lamar Jackson's spectacular, super duper. I think he's probably the most talented quarterback. But I've seen this before when Michael Vick. See, people don't remember Michael Vick.
Yeah.
Michael Vick was doing all this shit already. Michael Vick invented this shit. Like he walked so Lamar Jackson could run. The shit Michael Vick was doing before the dog case was amazing. All this running and scrambling and I've seen this movie already. That's why it gotta matter to me to win. And like I said, that's why it's like football's the ultimate team sport. Everything matters. All three phases: defense, offense, special teams, etc. But I see Lamar Jackson spectacular, and I'm not saying he isn't like a 2K version of Michael Vick, but I seen it, murder. Atlanta Falcon Michael Vick was ridiculous, my nigga.
Yeah, the high top cross trainers with 7 on it.
Yeah, crazy. So that's why maybe I'm not too like, and I love watching Lamar Jackson. I don't want people to take it the wrong way, but kind of seen something like this before. Yeah. It's kind of like, you know what it's like, murder? And like I said, it's 2K version, but niggas love Kobe.
Yeah.
But I seen Mike.
Yeah.
And I'm not dissing Kobe. I'm just saying, I happen to just see Mike. That's just the problem.
Well, then again, there are no wrong answers, and that's why I like to hear
it's opinionated.
I like to hear what you guys think, because you guys all have very different perspectives, and even just hearing like Arabia give her answer, it's like, you never really know. So in the comments down below, let us know who you guys' number one pick would be. We do got a little bit of a wild card because 21 overall is Jaden Daniels, so he would be the 6th best quarterback in this list. Arabia, do you agree with that, or do you not?
It's really hard to judge someone's rookie year over all these other guys' entire body of work over their career. I would say he had a very impressive, significant rookie year. And if we're just talking about 1 year, then yeah, Jaden Daniels can be 6. That's completely fine with me. He actually, yeah, he might be higher than 6. I would put Jaden Daniels in terms of this 1 year above Jalen Hurts. But as far as their body of work and their entire careers, you can't really compare them.
Let me ask you a question, Arabia. So you put
that was crazy.
You put him over C.J. Stroud?
As far as last year?
As far as just in general as a quarterback. That's the not
It would have to be just off of 1 year since he only has 1 year in the NFL. And in that regard,
I'm asking.
Yes.
I'm not asking. I understand that he's a rookie last year. Right now, do you think he's a better quarterback than C.J. Stroud?
Yes, I do.
Because to me, I like Jaden Daniels. I'm a huge Jaden Daniels fan. I really am. But to me, and we'll see.
Yeah,
that's the year C.J. Stroud had his rookie year, and then he had like a kind of downer as a sophomore year in the NFL, and we'll see what happens with Jaden Daniels. I'm rooting for the nigga, though. I like the nigga.
Yeah. And then real quick, Mace, would you put Jaden Daniels at 6, or you feel like it's too early? What do you think?
No, I got them going to the championship. So.
Who's the top 5?
Top 5: Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts.
My fault, man. I just wanted to before.
Oh yeah, I got them going to the championship. You know, I think that what he did last year, I think it'll be different than C.J. Stroud because he got his moms with him at every game, so he should be pretty focused. Keep him away from the baddies.
I like Jaden Daniels a lot, and like I said, see, the thing about it is that's why I'm like, what's the criteria for this question? Because you could sit there and be like, yo, are we going off what they did last season? Or are we going off who's better quarterback, just period? Just because somebody had a great season last year, that doesn't mean that they're overall better quarterback than somebody. I'm not taking Jaden Daniels over Justin Herbert. I'm not taking Jalen Hurts over Justin Herbert. It's just Justin Herbert's not in a good situation. He ends up getting hurt. But as far as being a pure quarterback, I'm not taking either one of them niggas over Justin Herbert. He just have some bad luck. But as far as being a pure quarterback, neither one of them niggas fucking with Justin Herbert. That's why I'm asking what's the criteria of the question. Because if it's who had a better year last year coming in this year, yeah, those are great answers. But if we're talking about who plays the quarterback position better today, I'm not taking Jalen Hurts or Jaden Daniels over Justin Herbert. I'm just not.
Okay, and then real quick,
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, say what you're gonna say.
Because Cam, I think it is interesting that you're putting a lot of emphasis on style of play. So it seems like you really value this pure quarterback sort of pocket presence guy. Like you'll put Justin Herbert over all these other guys who, to me, are more mobile quarterbacks. So is the style of play a bigger factor than their actual accuracy or things like that?
I mean, I get what you're saying, that you're saying that I'm picking like traditional style player quarterback, but I don't think Patrick Mahomes is traditional. I think Patrick Mahomes, I've seen Patrick Mahomes throw it behind his back in the game. I've seen nigga throw it with his left hand. I don't think he's traditional whatsoever. He's my number one quarterback on the list. And then after that, my criteria goes on situations. And when I say that's why I put Joe Burrows ahead of niggas, because my thing is this: when we go to Lamar Jackson, like you said, to me, I don't think it's a more talented quarterback than Lamar Jackson. But now we're getting into situations year after year after year. It's always something in the playoffs. Yo, he didn't protect the ball last year. The year before that, he couldn't get a jump. Then you lose to Josh Allen. Then who does Josh Allen lose to year after year after year? He loses to Patrick Mahomes. The only person who beat Patrick Mahomes in the last 5 years is Joe Burrow. So I'm sitting there not just taking the criteria of how good they are, but also the situation that they're in. Peyton Manning, a lot of people say that he's the best regular season quarterback ever. He wasn't really that good when it came time for the playoffs. Tom Brady was good when it's time for the playoffs. So Peyton Manning may have the title of best regular season quarterback ever, but when it counts, is he available? He got one Super Bowl, really 2 Super Bowls, but he got one when he played good. The defense won him a Super Bowl when he was in Denver. But when it matters, where's Peyton Manning at? That's what I'm saying. That's my personal. But it isn't about style of play. And pardon me, it is about style of play, but it's also about when you're in that situation, when the lights shine the brightest, what are you going to do?
Okay.
Good takes, y'all.
And I think also the surroundings have a lot to do with it. Like I know you said made light of Magic Johnson and Bob Myers being there, but that's going to turn him into a better pro.
Now I was just fucking with her about
yeah.
about the Redskins because she was trying to diss the Cowboys relationship, but I think you have to bring in winners.
Yeah.
Magic Johnson is not win by accident. Magic Johnson is a champion as a player. As a GM, he has a fucking championship with the Sparks, the lady basketball team, with the Dodgers. It's not by accident you bring him in to win. It's not by accident you bring Bob Myers, who recruited Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, and you get 4 or 5 champions, been to 6 championships, Kevin Durant. These people know what to do to win. I was just giving Arabia a hard time, but that's really what it's about. Bringing people in that know how to win and surrounding yourself with a winning team, that matters. You're absolutely right. I agree with that.
For sure. Okay, and then real quick, Mace, because you said his mom is keeping him away from the baddies. What's wrong with the baddies?
Nothing. I'm just keeping him focused, because if he stay focused, we gonna win. You know. That's my East Coast team. You know. And shout out to Michael Parsons. I just looked up the injury. That was my bad earlier. Talking about the injury that he have, he definitely can't go out there and play.
Yeah, isn't it it's a L4, L5 facet sprain, and it's in the lower lumbar region of the spine.
Yeah.
It can cause pain and irritation. So yeah.
Yeah, all down, pause your leg and all that.
Yeah, hope he's good. And then Arabia, just so we are clear, he said the Commanders are his East Coast team. Let's remember that. I just,
you know what?
Oh, goodness.
Come next time I'm here on this shelf, I'm gonna have it framed, Mace in that Redskins
the picture.
Yeah. Put it right over here behind the DC flag.
See, Cam, I had the Redskins on back in the days.
Mace, I had a Redskin phone like this. This was the phone when you had to pick it up. Like this was the shit. You don't even know who Art Monk is. Do you know who John Riggins is? Arabia, do you know who John Riggins is? Art Monk?
Art Monk, John Riggins, Joe Theismann, Joe they're in our the Ring of Honor for sure.
Don't tell them everything we know. Don't tell them everything.
I cried when they lost to the Raiders in the Super Bowl, Murder. I'm just trying to tell you, I was that type of Redskin fan.
Okay.
I didn't even know they was in the Ring of Honor because I was out there with them. I'm not saying out there, I was too young, but that was my team, my nigga. That's what I'm trying to tell you, man. After, Joe Theismann got hurt and John Riggins got older, I just curved, man. I couldn't deal with it no more.
You talking about okay. Y'all, that is all the time that we have for today. Arabia, it was a pleasure to have you.
Good seeing you. Thanks for coming back, man. We missed you.
Of course. Thank you for having me. I miss you guys too.
Of course. All right. Thank y'all for watching. And as always, it is what it is.
What you want, nigga? Everything, nigga, super size. 2 Big Macs, like when they doing them 2 for $5.